Jak 2 is one of the boldest sequels I have ever played, and with fewer risks being taken in today's video game industry.
Really?
It is a breath of fresh air to go back and play through the entire game. It completely changed tone from the original, moving from a heartwarming fantasy collectathon to a gritty, story-driven dystopian epic. Why? Imagine having a formula that works. A formula universally loved by basically everyone and saying, yeah, we're not doing that. I don't want to spend too long hovering over the gaming landscape in 2003. It boils down to the same suggestion. Gamers want an element of maturity. They want to be cool. Whatever cool is, I don't really understand this. I loved the original. I like games that play well. Be it violent, cool, or not. The weird thing is, the little googling I've done all points to the original game bringing in the most kachinga by a substantial margin, outselling the second and third games combined. I've mumbled about various games since my original Jak and Daxter video. Something actually clicked recently. I'm not very good at this. Maybe, just maybe, I didn't resonate with the games enough. So I finally come home. We all have them, a game series you can go years without playing, but when you return, you can't help but be yourself. Jak and Daxter is one series that does it for me.
And here we go.
Jak 2 isn't perfect, I can admit that, but what is? If you know anything about me, I think it's dumb to attach a number to a game, but I can honestly say Kira is still a 10. Her goddamn silhouette.
So damn hot.
The spine of Jak 2 is honestly the story. The number of characters has tenfolded, and the gameplay now borrows from an open world formula similar to early GTA. You now spend multiple cutscenes with several characters throughout the runtime instead of one character having one task or wanting X amount of orbs. And it's perfect. These characters are pre-season 4 Game of Thrones established. And I mean that. At the beginning, Jak, Daxter, Kira and Samos kiss the level 1 village goodbye, going headfirst into the portal because Jak thinks on his feet. It wasn't the most brilliant move, but it gets our boy into Haven City. Cutscenes have improved here, greater fidelity and subtlety. The emotions come through more than before, and the dialogue is as sharp as ever. Jak and Daxter lose the others in Crashland in the city, where the Crimson Guard show up. Immediately we get to see the change of direction. The city is fantastic. It gives off an industrious, totalitarian vibe, and that's what the art direction wanted, right? So, at the scene, Daxter disappears, and Jak is taken.
I'll save you before you know it.
Liar!
Our leading man is off to be experimented on for 2 years. Damn, 2 years of torture would change a man. In the following scenes, we see the Baron and his military commander discussing how they've been trying to turn Jak into some kind of weapon. Super edgy. They walk away, saying that tonight they will finally put Jak out of his misery. Man, that's cold. After 2 years, Daxter finally turns up to save the day, or at least riles Jak to go dark eco, and he escapes from the chair. That's pretty screwed up. So the opening introduces you to its ruthless enforcers, dystopian city, and ongoing torture of the main protagonist to make him into some kind of Weapon X. Jak talks, saying the word kill in his first sentence of the series, and to round it off, Daxter curses. What the hell is happening? It is bloody brilliant. It honestly reminds me of the time I wanted to watch Transformers with Shia LaBeouf, and a friend said it was a kids film.
I can fix that.
Nah bro, it's no kids film, it's a 12. You can't help but feel the aura from Jak 2. When you finally take control as you escape the prison, yes, Naughty Dog has done the best thing for Jak. He feels exactly the same to control, and it's glorious. I think his movement is still peak. You eventually get to go outside, bump into an old man and some kid, and he tells you to search for the underground. That's all I've ever wanted to hear. Now for the first time, you can finally get a taste of controlling the hover vehicles. I want to apologise for several comments online that slander the controls of these vehicles. They have a floaty feeling, they're hovering, like having butter stuck to your feet. That's wildly specific.
I forgive you.
Half remarks aside, I actually enjoyed the driving. It was fun for 99.99% of the runtime. Going fast is cool, but you have to adjust to the corner you're taking and how much space you're turning into. You can't whip it around at full speed into a narrow alley, because physics, that's just how it is. The vehicles can also operate at two different heights, high and low. Use your wits about you. Smash the living life out of the R2. So the most effective way to drive in the game is to learn the map. You'll be going back and forth quite a bit. Like, a lot actually. That was the only annoying aspect in the early game. I had to pause it now and then so that I didn't miss a turn. Here is driving in Haven City 101. Keep one eye on the map to gauge the size of areas turning into. Keep one eye on the road and that finger on the trigger to change your driving height to navigate through traffic. Familiarise yourself with specific routes so you don't take a wrong turn. Use the city to your advantage. Open areas of farmland, waterways can help avoid traffic and keep that journey running smoothly. Most importantly, these hover cars are squishy. Don't wait for them to blow up like a lunatic. There's nothing worse than potentially losing health and then having to scramble for a new one. Switch vehicles during missions frequently if you're that bad at driving. At the end of the day, the travelling serves one purpose: to get to the icons on the map that trigger the missions. In the first Jak and Daxter, missions were fine. There was some interlocking world building, catching a fish to earn the fisherman's respect opens up Misty Island, but for the most part it was feed Kira power cells until whatever she's working on is good enough to advance Jak to a new area. And believe me, I'd feed Kira all day long. Jak 2 completely changes that, and it's thanks to the deep story woven by Naughty Dog. The team they built to expand on the universe did an incredible job, but I think it's best to go over some of the roster. On Team Oppression you have the Baron, who is self-explanatory. Big, mean and scary, and his first boss fight took me an absolute age. You have his commander, Errol, who as a character I remember best for trying to woo Kira.
Stay away from her.
He has a rivalry with Jak over who is the better racer, and I love that. I love that he has moments where he could turn Jak in, but he wants to humiliate him on the track. There is one mission before the final race, where they try to settle it there and then in an illegal race around the city.
Don't get too cocky, outlaw. Next time we race for keeps, and your head will be my trophy.
He's nuts, and in the end goes out with a bang like Norman Osborn.
Oh.
That's brilliant. On Team Smiles we have Torn, who works for the rebels, with the Underground. He's ex-commander of the Crimson Guard, and has a delightfully sour face to rival Jak 2.0. I dig his scenes. You know there's a heart of gold there, somewhere deep down. But he wants what's best for the city. My favourite scene is the ending where he's commanded to go to the after-game party and dance.
I'm dying to see you dance. Not likely.
It wouldn't be a true GTA clone without an organised crime representative. And this is where the delightful Crew comes in. It's incredible just for the banter between him and Daxter. I really like Crew as a character. His scenes are the most animated, with him scooting around jiggling. I love Crew's eventual betrayal, and I'm not talking just before his boss fight. This guy's been blowing smoke up Jak's ass for most of the game, especially to get Jak involved in the city races. You get through to the final race, and he tells you to throw it. That is unforgivable. We didn't even want to race.
Against us?
We did it because you believed in us, Crew.
It's just business. Do you say, my boy? I'd say you're gonna lose a lot of money.
Next, we have Vin, a paranoid mess who's an electrical engineer in control of managing the city's defences. Vinny is one of the coolest characters. He has pride in his work. He likes conspiracies and he's scared of the circumstances he's found himself in. He acknowledges he's not in Mars's league, the founder of Haven City, but I think he's extraordinary. He's just not incredibly boastful. One of the cutscenes with Vin leads straight into one of the best missions in the entire game. I'm not kidding. We all hate timed missions, but how can you hate a mission engineered by Slapstick? It is an excellent example of Naughty Dog thinking outside of the box to implement a mission challenge, and I'm all for that. The mission itself, you use the hoverboard given by Kira, you race around the map getting some insane air and you dispose of the bombs, that's it. But packaged with that cutscene, it just stuck with me. Another shiny new addition is Onin and Pekka, the ancient mystic and her mouthy translator. This is where I need to elaborate on the humour here. Daxter and Pekka have exceptional moments, and the humour of these comic relief characters contrasts with the bleak atmosphere and seriousness of several other characters, making everything funnier. In the original, Daxter was borderline annoying after a while, and here it is great throughout. Onin knows Jack's interests better than he knows himself. And she even has a mischievous game for you to play, which I enjoyed. Remember the enemies from the first game, the Lurkers. They've changed drastically in the future, and Brutta is a perfect example. Before meeting him, you are tasked with saving Lurkers from captivity, and seeing them jump onto the back of the hovercar had a lovely nice charm about it. Brutta owns his own business operating in the market, and it's nice that he allows Daxter to drink for free. Naughty Dog could have easily forgotten about the Lurkers. It's a nice touch to see our heroes come face to face with their old enemies in a completely different light. Kira isn't the only broad anymore. Welcome to the big city. We now have Tess and Ashlyn. Tess is working undercover for the underground at Crew's Bar. Her introduction can't be ignored.
It's not fair! Why did you give me this disease?
Tess also has a weird thing for animals, which is brilliant for Dax.
Step aside, Jack. Let the game player do his stuff.
You're such an animal.
But who are we to judge what she does in her spare time? It's great seeing Daxter's charm work for a change. Ashlyn is the Baron's daughter, and her story is simple. She looks up to her dad and is loyal to the Baron. But realisation hits hard when she begins to question whether she's doing the right thing. Ashlyn makes Kira jealous. That's all I need to say.
She is.
And Kira's,
A friend. A very good friend.
Let's finally address the elephant in the room. As the great Daniel Radcliffe once said,
Do we have weapons?
yes we do. Jack has guns. Isn't that exciting? It's another thing I've seen complained about. And I get it. It's not as fluid as the first Ratchet and Clank, but I still enjoyed it. The shooting does feel strange at first, but it is something you have to get used to. The morph gun is a versatile all-in-one beast by the end of the game, but the first attachment on the menu is the scatter gun. How this comes about is you show your worth to Crew. You know, he says he could do with your talents, but first you have to prove yourself at the firing range. Simple stuff. Getting gold in that assault course would be more hassle than it's worth. I scraped the bare minimum and continued with the story. Sue me. Then you get a rifle attachment, a machine gun, and finally an electric orb thing. So you can't aim down sights. There's no strafe, but what I found helpful, especially with the rifle, was rolling into a crouch then firing. Being lower to the ground increased aiming precision tenfold. Rolling also changes your position, so the guards miss more shots. Ammo, for the most part, is in ample supply, so don't be scared to shoot. Even if you can't see, sometimes you haven't got time to turn the camera, or for whatever reason the camera is fighting against you. Just fire blindly. While we're on the subject, let's keep addressing the issues people have. One that kept popping up was the difficulty. For a game aimed at youngsters, it was difficult for the wrong reasons, but it didn't break the game. Dying in 3 hits is sadistic, considering that many enemies have ranged attacks. In some missions you feel like you're walking on glass, knowing one hit would be death. That feeling, I remember searching for the cloaked metalheads in the forest, getting down to the last couple, and you twitching. The non-existent health helped create the most complained about issue. The checkpoints, I get it. The checkpoints are rough. They can break your soul, body and mind. It feels like the game is bullying you, but don't let it. This is weird, but on most missions, I knew I was going into it thinking I was going to die. So let's get a feel for it. This is where it is significantly different to the first game. In the first Jak, you could leisurely frolic around. In this one, you have to take it seriously, or you will hit these non-existent checkpoints again and again and again. It's not really about getting good, it's about being careful, about knowing when to rush, knowing when to take your time, and knowing what is around the corner because you died there before. Overall, the checkpoints aren't that bad. The missions are short, so the ones where you start from the beginning are manageable, and the ones with checkpoints don't feel longer than 10 minutes tops between them. Some of the missions I found challenging were stopping the 3 bots from reaching the underground hideout. That was a pain for me. It took me a couple of tries until I changed my method. I found it impossible to stay in the hovercraft. Then I tried on foot from range, that didn't work. It wasn't until I got up close, rolled just enough to avoid the lasers and shot from underneath, that it made the most sense. Everybody else, the sewer escort mission, I'm just a mortal man, and the first couple of tries hurt. The last room was pure adrenaline, and I was shooting everything. Though, escaping the slums is by far the most annoying. Trying to be cool with the hoverboard over and over again. I wanted it to work so bad.
The definition of insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again.
It wasn't until I fell off and punched a few guards that I realised I could pass through the civilians too. I just mashed square. So yeah, no game is perfect, but I am blown away by Jak 2. The fact that Naughty Dog nailed continuous gameplay with no loading screens, with an open world, this early into the PS2 lifespan is crazy. The platforming is still at its peak, and up there with the best. It is insane to think that Jak's movement is still better than most games. And this is 2003. The game doesn't look stunning. It never needed to. It is an IP with its own unique look. And what is wrong with that? Naughty Dog made the game in 2 years. I don't care about graphics. It's mad to think that Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4 is made up of over 90,000 in-connecting shapes, and Jak has over 10,000 in cutscenes, and around 3,000 during gameplay. There are more polygons on Drake's watch than in all of Jak during gameplay. Jak looks more than fine, and plays fine. Developers are getting carried away. Reel it back in. Don't aim for photorealism, aim for a distinct feel that plays well.
My boy, a future awaits.